So, hey, I'm Bryant. I'm a contactee from Portland, Oregon, and I was thinking about Nordic type aliens this morning. And if you need an answer that's not spiritual, don't seek the knowledge of the Pleiadians. Don't seek knowledge of them because there's going to be like a Merkaba friendly group where things are Merkaba mysticism friendly, but some people know God hates that symbol. Is going to be a problem for anything resembling like a Pleiadian cleric, or I must say cleric of Lyra. There's going to be some people know God hates the Merkaba and God hates you for displaying that symbol. And so people know differently from God presences in life about that symbol. And this is just something about the mysteries we have to cope with. Yeah, as Westerners, because it's a Western symbol. And I'm Bryant. I'm worried I have Jewish obsessives out there who are worried why I don't display the symbol of Merkaba. And then it goes into whose Merkaba are you displaying? Are you displaying like a golden Merkaba? Are you displaying like this Merkaba or that Merkaba? I don't want to display Merkaba today because I wanted to look into alternate Western spirituality. And I hope there's not like a Jew out there who's ready to like interrogate me like I'm being like the Nazi Jews of the Israeli time travel program. I went on injected with sodium pentothal to explain yourself to me, Brian. You have been too much of a Jew, sir. You've been too much of a Jew. You have to just leave us Pleiadian clerics of see if you ever encounter like an orb UFO, it matters which soul group you're connecting to, okay? There's several different soul groups connected to orb UFOs, and the answers are going to keep being spiritual that are connected to orb UFOs. There might be one pure science orb UFO, though, just for people who can't discuss the transdimensional fields. This is going to be an objectively existing transdimensional field correlating with your subjective experience of spirit, but at the same time, this is happening. At the same time, this is happening. That's got to be valid for my morning address. So I thought I'd do something funny today after talking about this serious topic. So I wanted to wear my bear hat. It's a faux bear hat and has like a little has like a little pouch you could keep a gun called a Derringer on. You could keep like we'll call it like 32 ACP here, where some people say it's better than no gun, and the criminal's lung is still collapsing. Like I'm a criminal. I'm dying. I'm dying for the crime because this guy had because this asshole had a Derringer in his bear hat or something, or his bathrobe. And then that's how it starts with male self-protection instinct. Is you want to get a bigger bathrobe and don't want to say pretty soon you're toting around like a 10 millimeter automatic in the kitchen when that's people's lives sometimes. And so, hmm. I mean, one of the real issue for Pleiadian clerics with Merkabas is some people are sure that it's a symbol of God. Well, and some people are here we go with that, and other people know God as a leader of a Fourth Reich. And this is a real spiritual issue for Pleiadian clerics. If you're wondering why do certain Nordic aliens carry around like a brown suit, like a brown jumpsuit? And that we carry around every color of jumpsuit now. We carry around yellow, we carry around violet, we carry around green. Blue, one of us carries around silver just to warn us, look, there's a gray around and they're an amazing healer. For a Nordic type group called Pliaran. And now there's still skittish of Russians, but I think Russians who are genuinely ready to engage with the spiritual. Like, I don't think Pliaran a complete mystery to Russia. But if some Lyrans are a complete mystery to Russia, it's. I'm not sure I can do funny. I'm going to do like a funny face where I do waka waka. And see, I can still joke. Been a very serious point lately, but I can still joke. But seriously, people who want to object me with the sodium pentothal, what do you do about what do you do about the guy who is sure that God's leader of the Fourth Reich, and he wants you to have a paralysis pencil. There's a device like a pencil that can paralyze, that some beings who might be perceived as Lemurians can use to paralyze you, and it's fallen into Lemurian hands over the years since the original Marsman encounters in the 1950s in Austria. But they've been on the Center for UFO Studies. I don't know if I can Don't know if I can include a link in description this time because that's a lot to think about with. Is that what they're dealing with on Phobos? Seems that that's what they're dealing with on Phobos. There's a known extraterrestrial presence on Mars's moon of Phobos, associated with it sometimes. Well, that'd be what Arcturians are dealing with. Is most of the time people. Well, here we go here we go with really with advanced topics and in spirituality, and the transmissional field's real, but this is happening too. So don't I should just leave it there with Pleiadian clerics, which Pleiadian group. But there's certain Nordic aliens who allow their star seeds to move out of Merkaba mysticism, and they don't have to stay in Merkaba mysticism. Are associated with Cygnus Alpha sometimes. Aldebaran group also allow their star seeds to interact with the Orion complex, and in the Orion complex, they never force you into Merkaba mysticism. I don't think they're ever known to force you into Merkaba mysticism, and they allow people to experiment with Eastern ways and get to know the Indo-Aryans quite possibly. There's white people seen in the Orion complex, which is this jet-black pyramid UFO that's just like don't want to have it boom 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 with a giant robot. And it's awkward what people can believe about Pleiadians and what's because if there's too scary of an alien that seemed to be loose on the planet, I would hope that an advanced extraterrestrial intelligence active would consider capture of them. And we're digging instead of like we're jibbing them. It's like just jibbing them. It's like, are they put into like a hole underground? And then we dig a hole underground and we put them in the containment pit until we can figure out what's going on. And there's some helper beings active on Earth, and it's awkward. I don't know if I can talk about them right now. Well, and the controversial Hyades complex is still active on Earth. And I'm sorry what's going on with people and their parents and myth and whether that's too much for your UFO circles. My UFO circles and whether our UFO circles met in this. And I would allow my readers and my viewers to believe in a UFO base in Greenland that wants to be amazing, but then it's going to be awkward with paranormal experiences over the years, what people attribute to the paranormal, possibly. Well, people know the gray masters are associated with airports sometimes, and sometimes when you're looking for like one gray with a very large number of brain cells, they're associated with airports. And what Assyrian told me was that's associated with timeline and time travel decisions, where where Helper once explained to me, Brian, I'm going to have to make time travel decisions where this thing with like 300 human lives on board is going to be diverted between timelines quite possibly. And through human technology and Project Montauk, humans are actually trying to have, it's funny and it's a joke, and I'm moving 300 people between timelines. And sometimes masters are having, no, why do you want it to be like 300 people who disappeared in the air? And human technology, we're actually trying to apply in Project Montauk, or I dare say Project Looking Glass is having, with Project Looking Glass, there's this awkward factor. There's not enough Catholics on the flight, and so It's just gone from the timeline, and I right now I don't think certain timeline transits of just like I don't know we're going to move 300 people on this airplane or how many ever 100 people on this airplane for whatever reason are being allowed by certain extraterrestrial masters. It's like why do you want to tinker in the timelines? It's like once like a flippant like time controller kind of human happened where it's like I want to move like 300 people between timelines just because so 300 drops in the bucket or something. And so if you ever thought you saw an entire airplane appear and disappear, don't sweat it. But that could be what are called masters. I mean, if here we go. If I'm sorry, I don't have editing software right now where I can edit in like a frame of Skinny Bob. It's like behold, actual gray alien Skinny Bob, who helpers might flock around during danger. Energon helpers. Skinny Bob's preferred gender pronoun is they, to my knowledge. And if you're looking for a gray with any more brain cells than Skinny Bob, it was more brain cells than me, so I tried to listen to the Skinny Bobs in my life. They're associated with airports sometimes. Maybe we should just leave it there because they're letting plating clerics consider the spiritual issues. Basically, it's your choice in politics to the Pleiadians. It's like, why does Starseed have this preference or that preference? And like, I can't ignore that Indo-Aryans have a history with the East, though, and it matters whose karma is being considered. It's like, if karma is to be considered, is it the spiritual teacher, that spiritual teacher, and Aryans of the West can't ignore the history with Theosophy. So maybe we should just mic drop right there. We should just mic drop right there.